Hello, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Soviet SimCity. I'm your host, Mr. Squiggs. It's Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're looking at our new town of Bahia Nova, where we've got a bunch of roads and buildings built and under construction. So far, just a few buildings are actually completed. We got one school, a town hall, a small heating plant, and I actually went ahead and planned some roads just because it's easier to do them first sometimes before we put all the buildings. And I'm looking at this area, I'm wondering where we put some agriculture. It tends to be one of the first industries that we might want to set up, especially starting as we are with realistic mode and hardest possible settings. Our population has shrunk a little bit. We got a few escapes. For those of you who watched the first few episodes, you'll know I'm doing something different here. I'm trying not to use the domestic labor and get everything built only with foreign labor, using money, because once we start using our own domestic labor, the workers want all the services, and if the services don't exist yet, then they flee the Republic. It's impossible to completely avoid it. I've been throttling how many workers get brought in on each construction project, for example, but it is impossible to completely avoid some of our own workers getting used unless I set the construction sites to 0 workers. And if I do that, then they may not get built at all. So there's always going to be a few that walk to a nearby construction site and work. Yeah, I've already got stuff on fire. Yeah, so I guess I better build this fire hall pretty quick, eh? Yeah, definitely want to know when that's done. Yeah, I gotta get my act together and finish getting buildings built here. It's been fun planning it all out. And I'm still estimating about one more year. I think it'll be the better part of 1961 will be over before we get all of our buildings built, or at least everything that we need to sort of actually activate the town. But yeah, we did get this little heating plant built. It uses coal, which is not ideal, but at the beginning we're going to need to survive the winter. And if we don't provide heating, then the old city houses, they will heat themselves at the cost of pollution. So who knows if burning this coal is actually better or worse. It's just one of the services that the citizens do need. So I'm going to be hoping to get all these other services built here. We've got pubs, we've got schools and kindergartens and universities, and even some bus stops and some indoor pools all planned. So I think we're off to a good start. We got a lot done in 1960, and not everyone has fled the city yet. So we did survive our first winter. So without further ado, I'm going to crank up the speed and we'll get some more stuff built. Okay, we've got a bit of a problem here. All the construction vehicles are out of gas because our one oil tanker is out of gas, because our one free gas station is out of gas. So I guess I'm buying another one of these. And yeah, I guess the one tanker was having trouble keeping up with demand. I do, of course, have one proper gas station built further close into the town, but my guess is that that one must be empty as well, because surely vehicles out and about will have gone. Oh, there you go, look at that. All rushing to get gasoline now that it's available. Okay. So there we have it. Those two cistern trucks will keep filling that up. I'm hoping that they will soon go into town and fill the other gas station up. Yeah, but these are the things that remind you how difficult it is here on realistic mode. You know, I believe that this kind of thing is something that can be turned off in the settings, whether you need fuel for your vehicles. And you might just, let's increase that percentage there. That might, I think it just doesn't hold a lot. 20 tons is not a huge amount of gas that it's storing there, especially if we compare to a real gas station downtown. I think that's also a factor, because bigger tank means more time between the distribution office realizing it needs to refill it and gas actually arriving. And of course, it also means that if my cisterns are sitting at home in the distribution office out of gas, there's more wiggle room for them to go and refill gas before they go and buy more gas for everybody else. So I think that's just what happened here. And that might be considered a bug as well. Is just that I think when the cisterns are waiting at home, I don't think they automatically decide they need to top up their gasoline at all times. If they're completely empty, yes, they go fill. But I think if they are just mostly empty, they will wait until they need to drive somewhere. And then and only then will they say, oh, I don't have enough gasoline to drive there. So I think that's what happened here. Our border gas station just didn't have enough gasoline. And that window of opportunity when the distribution office would have wanted to send a vehicle to refill was just too short. One or two other vehicles came along, got gas, and that was it. There was none left for our oil tanker itself. But having more than one vehicle should solve that problem. I am considering upgrading the gas station around here. That may also solve this problem, but honestly, I think already with just the two cisterns, we should be good to go. All right, I think we're coming up on a momentous milestone in the development of this town. Our first little water tower is about to be completed. Look at the guys working on it. So nice. There we go. Oh my gosh. Adorable. Okay. I don't think there's any water in it yet, though. I think we're missing a pipe somewhere. But, wow. Cute. I guess it's a little Western style. That's suspicious. I guess I might take a look at what we can do. Okay, no. Obviously, this is a mod. If you're looking for this building in vanilla, you're not going to find it. Yeah, I'm not loving the skins that they've got there. I might just leave it blank. But there we go. We got a water tower. Woohoo! I might take a quick look at some population statistics again. We did experience some deaths and escapes in the last couple years, and it looks like it's not too bad because we've got 10,000 people and we've only had, 2,000, a little under 2,000 escapes. But in fact, it's a good chunk of this town. I assume people are not dying or emigrating from the other towns on the map where most of that 10,000 is. But there we go. The town is coming along. We've got a lot more of our buildings built. So we are gonna soon start to retain people a lot better. But yeah, I just cannot avoid people sneaking out to secretly do work on the construction sites that are near to them, when in reality I'm trying to use foreign hired labor for everything. But I think we're good. We're not dying out. If we really have to, we can pull the same trick we did last time and repopulate the town by bringing people in from another town. Yeah, and I'm loving how developed the pedestrian network is getting around here. It's really important at the beginning, when everyone's going to be walking everywhere, that we have a good pedestrian network. Alright, so it's October of 1962. Construction's coming along pretty well in our town. I'm just gonna make a new area here. I might call it Terra Nova. And just because I'm gonna build some agriculture around here. Oh. Looks like we've got another fire. And frankly, this is a risk I'm taking by building everything before we use any domestic labor, because I don't have my firefighters up and running yet. Quite frankly, we're lucky it's just a substation. So I think I'm going to... I don't think I mentioned it before, but one of these dirt parking lots here is actually a demolition office. So I guess I'm gonna have to assign some vehicles to it. I'm trying to get double duty from all my vehicles here, so I don't have anything permanently assigned there because there hasn't been much need for demolition so far, but I'm gonna want to rebuild that. I'm gonna want to rebuild that substation exactly where it was. So I'm going to need to demolish and rebuild. So a little bit of waste. Lucky it's not a more expensive building. All right, it's January of 1963. It's taken nearly 3 years, but the town is essentially built. I'm just gonna add a few things to the distribution office, particularly the second gas station I've got built here. So I do think I am gonna try to produce some crops as soon as possible. We'll hope that it won't take too long to get these, at least the farm and the silo built, but they seem to be coming along pretty nicely. Yeah, we should be done by the time the snow melts. So I might want to set up some more farms too. But yeah, crops will be good. It'll be nice to have a stable food supply if we can. It'll also be nice to have some jobs, because once I start activating the town and opening all the service buildings, yes, they'll hire a lot of people, but not everybody. And it would be really nice to have another industry to put people to work and to produce stuff of value. So that's why I've planned a distillery and a food factory, and both of those use crops. And crops, we don't actually need labor to produce them. We just need vehicles and electricity and gasoline, and then all this land. So there we go. The farm is all built. So I'm just worrying about the other buildings now. But we've got a bit more time. We have till July at least to get the silo built. So I'm not too worried about that. I am going to buy some vehicles, and I'm going to focus on trying to buy some American vehicles with my US dollars if I can, just because, as you can see, I'm running pretty low on rubles, and I haven't touched my American money yet. And at this early stage, I believe some of the American machinery is slightly superior. Yeah, this one's a bit unrealistic, so I might go with the cheaper one. And I don't know how I'm getting these vehicles. I assume that I have a road connection all the way to the western border, but I'm not totally sure about that. Okay, do I need both of them? I think it's convenient if the farm already has gas for its vehicles. Yeah, and I do want somewhere that I can store fertilizer. That's the one other thing the farm needs is fertilizer, which can, if we collect some good quality biological waste from our citizens, so eventually we can produce our own fertilizer. But at the beginning, I'm going to need to import it. And it really is important because the fields do have a fertility value that determines the yield. So we are going to need some fertilizer. But what's that? It's not as good as the MF. I might stick with the MF. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna want a lot of these. I'm thinking like 8 at least. We'll see. We'll see what we get. Okay, we'll check back in soon. Okay, friends, it's March of 1963, almost exactly 3 years since we started, and finally the town is pretty much built. There might be one or two buildings here and there that I forgot about. For example, I think there's a pub that still needs to get built and a prison. I built a police station and a courthouse and no prison, so we're waiting on that. But basically, we're on the cusp of activating the town here and actually opening all these services and letting people work in them and use them. But I think I'm going to have to make you guys wait for the next episode for that, so be sure to tune in next time. I know it looks like there's less activity than we had in our first attempt on the other map, but we're in much better shape overall. The lights are still on in houses, smoke still comes out of chimneys, so 3 winters in and we have not driven away all the citizens. The only real concern is our dwindling amount of funds, but I do have some ideas of how to fix that, and most of the money we needed to spend to get the town built has been spent. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Mr. Squiggs. This is Soviet SimCity, and I'll see y'all next time.